My name is Jonathan Narcis, and welcome back. If you had a chance to go through our 12 articles and our 10-step plan, we'd love your feedback. But now it's time for us to explain why this project made sense. I was headed to Washington, D.C. to receive an award from the Washington Times Foundation. When I was let out of the car, Dawn said to me, "Jonathan, we're getting a baby." I said, "When?" She said, "I'm going to Omaha to pick up the birth mother now." Shortly after the birth of that child, I became painfully aware that I had an obligation to make this world a better place for her, to make this state a better place for her. So that really was the catalyst for building this passion to make this state a better place. Now, in the early part of this decade, I had a chance to head up a 99-county examination. We contacted every school district, every high school, every community college, every governmental entity. And the result was a massive 3,500-page report. It changed the state. Then following that, we held education hearings and health hearings. We had the U.S. Department of Education, the Department of Health and Human Services, the White House wanting to work with us. We had some serious internal collaborations, and they just simply, the education hearing simply transformed the state. But something happened in 2003. We had just concluded the Iowa City hearing. It was a powerful collaboration that was emerging between the Johnson County Health Department and the University of Iowa and our effort, our statewide efforts. As I approached my car, my cell phone rang, and at that time, my wife said, "I want to end our marriage." It was simply devastating. That and a series of events over the next few months, such as finding my father dead, sent me into a spiral and into the abyss. I simply lost my way. I got out of control, and I discussed this in here. I became promiscuous. I self-medicated for the most part. I didn't do drugs, but I did something in many respects was as self-destructive to me. And when I finally woke up after an STD scare, and they have the swab they're supposed to stick in you and the one they're not, and that sort of woke me up. And so I turned to food. I swelled to nearly 280 pounds. As I explained in the health piece, I was a walking disaster. And finally I said, enough is enough. And fortunately, by a fool's chance, I was able to stumble back on the path of redemption. I discovered that it wasn't a man-made cure that I needed, but I needed a spiritual balm. I needed to regain the power of faith in my life. And like I said, by a fool's chance, I stumbled on the path again. From there, I received a call late at night from a gentleman who I just love dearly, John Niederbach, who also a couple years earlier I had endorsed against, and it somewhat cost him his seat on the Des Moines School Board. And he said, "John, you need to run." He talked me into running with $750 and hard work. We defeated a 3-term incumbent who had a $20,000 war chest and lots of power behind him, including a former governor, a couple of former lieutenant governors, and builders and contractors and others. So even though he had a 20-to-1 war chest, we pulled it off. While serving on the Des Moines School Board, it was tough. Got beat up by the media, vilified, had a website dedicated to destroying me. They changed the law to take a year off my term. They tried to get me prosecuted, literally. And at the end of the day, we got nearly everything we wanted. In fact, I announced my decision not to seek re-election on a local talk show called Max World Live. He had a list from September 10th, 2007, the day before I was elected. Everything got checked off. Some things that we accomplished, people won't necessarily realize. Things like weekly construction updates and people reading stuff before we vote on it. Some things that people will pay more attention to. The district announced it was going to end social promotion. We saw safety and security elevated. We got a new code of conduct, even though a majority of the board members at one point, not too long ago, said, we don't need a new code of conduct, we're not going to do it. And then finally, we got rid of our project manager who was just sucking up the profits. He's not going to get part of the new penny, which would be about $40 to $50 million. So a great deal was accomplished. Not everything. We didn't get ninth graders back to junior high school. We didn't get a full-time vocational technical education school yet. But I think we're going to be working on it. So the school board was a wonderful experience. We got results. I've always said to people, whenever I've gotten involved in advocacy, I've gotten three things: new enemies, little credit, and results. We got results. But as I prepared to leave the school board, I realized that the work was not done, that there were those things that could not be fixed at the local level. They only had to be fixed at the state level. And for that reason, we are undertaking this venture. Not only the articles, not only the solutions we assert, but we're going to be doing town halls in 99 counties because we want to hear from folks. Somebody said, how are you going to do it? I said, we're going to go to their community, we're going to sit down, we're going to shut up, we're going to listen to your ideas and what you think is going to make this a better state. So having said that, we're very excited about this process. We look forward to it. We are excited about the articles. We hope you will read them all. And if you have, give us your feedback. And until then, we hope you'll join us in fighting to preserve our Iowa values and our Iowa way of life.